Shinso Itoshi in Christmas with Kids.
Did I do it right, Mrs. Listener?
Yep, you did it perfectly, Harry. Shinso, listen to the giggle of you and Harry in the living area, working on art and craft project to keep the child entertained. As cute as the sight was, it irked the purple-haired boy a bit that the attention of his lover was not on him. Even though he had spent months convincing Aizawa to allow you to come over. The only reason he agreed to allow Shinso's company was because he had to patrol the street with Present Mike, and he felt it best to have another babysitter there to even out Shinso's nonchalant attitude. However, Shinso's idea of you coming over was very different. He would have liked to relax with you, alone, enjoying an intercuddle session with a sweet kiss here and there, eventually falling asleep in each other's arms. But instead, Harry was in your arms, coloring a piece of construction paper, and your undivided attention was on her, praising the white-haired girl for her messy coloring skills. Would he consider himself jealous? Probably not. Would he consider himself upset that his plans got ruined? Yeah, absolutely. And so, he watched you from the kitchen, pretending to have his attention on his phone while doing so. On the outside, one couldn't see the annoyance that was rolling inside him. That should be him right now, being praised by you and cuddling into your warmth, but instead, he was stuck in the kitchen, resting on a lone stool. Harry was such a sweet child, but no matter what reason he came up with his head, he didn't erase the feeling of jealousy that bubbled inside. You had left Harry to get a snack for the two of you, entering the kitchen to see Shinso supposedly scrolling to his phone. You greeted him, but he didn't reply. After retrieving 2 juice pouches and prepared sandwiches, you approached Shinso from behind and snuck in a kiss on his cheek. Safe to say, he wasn't expected such a forward display of affection, but he wasn't offended by it in the slightest. In fact, he was overjoyed by the act, happy to receive some of attention. He even disregarded the blood creeping up on his neck in order to acknowledge the kiss.
Hey, you good, Toshi?
You asked, placing a hand on his shoulder. Shinso nodded, very much lying about his current emotions. Sensing that something was up, you invited Shinso to you and Harry's art and craft session. Reluctantly, the purple-haired boy followed.
Hi, Toshi,
Harry said, with a bright smile. The child began to shuffle around the many pieces of paper scattered around the coffee table to pick up a recently finished piece.
Look what I drew!
It was a sloppy drawn picture of the purple-haired boy holding hand with herself, alongside other scenery colored in green, blonde, and yellow. That's pretty, Harry. That's very pretty. Shinso replied, taking a seat next to her. Part of him now felt bad for being jealous of the little girl, now knowing that while his attention was not on him, the thought of him was still on their minds.
Will you draw with us, Toshi?
Harry asked, with a cute little held tit, and Shinso found it hard to say no. And so, Shinso found himself making a sketch of the 2 girls in front of him, happily coloring their own imagination on paper. Perhaps it wasn't so bad that he had to babysit Harry, since now he had 2 very important women in his life right in front of him. Perhaps it wasn't so bad that he had to babysit Harry, since now he had 2 very important women in his life right in front of him. Bakugo Katsuki in Christmas shopping. What the fuck am I here again, raccoon eyes? Bakugo grumbled through gritted teeth, the swamp of body in the mall adding to his irritation. Mina had convinced the rest of the Baku squad to spend the weekend Christmas shopping together. The only hard part was getting Bakugo to agree, to which Kirishima gladly took on the challenge. Being the only person to handle Bakugo's explosiveness, he got the blonde to agree to accompany the group on a training session that Aizawa had already approved. It was almost too easy, the way Bakugo was low-key eager to beat them up. However, it wasn't until the mall came into view that Bakugo caught on the trick.
Christmas shopping, Bakugo?
Mina replied, unfazed by the obvious irritation in his voice.
May I remind you that you're the only one that hasn't put anything under the tree in the dorms?
The fuck I gotta buy present for? They have their own money, they can buy their own.
But
it'd be more if one of the best students in the class bought at least something for his classmates. Kirishima jumped in.
Come on, show a little appreciation for the rest of them.
They should appreciate that I haven't blown any of them into the fucking sun, mumbled the blonde, huffing an angered sigh as he was dragged into the mall by Kirishima. Kaminari and Zero headed the group, and eventually Mina and Kirishima paired up to talk about what they were going to buy as well, which left Bakugo at the back of the group. Seizing the opportunity, the blonde carefully snuck away from his friend group to do his own shopping. He was already there, might as well make the most. Make the most of it. Beside himself, Bakugo was only shopping for one other reason, albeit he never admitted it. He picked up basic necessities for himself, like self-care projects, some more training gear, etc. He had come across a hair care store, the only one in the mall that catered to foreign people. Your face flashed into his mind, prompting him to enter. Bakugo would never allow himself to think he had feeling for someone, but it was obvious, at least to himself, that he was a bit BA and more tolerant of you than anyone else. He didn't give you an insulting nickname like the rest of his classmates, referring to you by your last name whenever he did need to talk to you. Though his competitive nature still came through, he was watered down to a considerable degree. You may not have been a member of the Baku squad, but Bakugo would admit that he did care for you. Browsing the aisle of the store, Bakugo's mind flashed back to the image of you and Mina tucking into the common room. Unintentionally, he listened in on the conversation about you needing more hair care products, but you didn't have the money to buy any more. The only problem was that he had no idea what kind of hair you had, or if there was anything specific you used on it. How could hair be such a difficult thing to maintain? After a hidden internal battle, the blonde took out his phone and speed dialed Mina. It didn't take long for the pinky to answer, to which Bakugo quickly asked if she knew anything about the hair care project he used.
I believe we use the same brand. Shea Moisture, I think. She has like 4B, 4C type of hair, and she preferred to buy more affordable brand to save money. Why?
Nothing. Bye. And with that, the blonde quickly hung up before Mina could ask any more questions. Bakugo then called over a worker and asked if they had their said product. The shopkeep showed him the wide variety of hair product by Shea Moisture, but with most of him being too complicated for the simple boy, he just told them to give him a set they thought would fit 4C, 4B hair. When meeting up with the rest of the Baku squad, Bakugo had around 3 bags full, one of them dedicated to the gift he had bought for you, one belonging to him, and one having a few items he picked up for the annoying disgrace he hung out with. He blatantly ignored the question of his friends about his whereabouts and what he had bought, saying that they'd seen with the time. There was an aching pig in Bakugo's stomach that was pestering him, and he didn't like it. He was satisfied with the shopping, but he truly did hope you appreciated his gift at the least.